This is KGW News at Sunrise.
The issues with coworkers, complaints of bullying, creating an unsafe workplace.
I believe Brian Chu symbolizes the underdog in this district, always raising his voice to stand up for what's right.
That's what a member of Portland Public's school board and a fellow teacher had to say about recently fired teacher Brian Chu. Ahead on Sunrise, the allegations he's faced and why some students and parents are still standing with him.
Also, some of you waking up to scattered showers this morning. Rod is standing by with a look at the radar.
We're also talking this morning about the slow death of a breakfast staple.
Huh?
Yeah, we're talking about cereal this morning on the Sunrise Show. In fact, we have a Sunrise poll. So here's the question. Study suggests cereal is on the decline. Are you part of the decline? Do you still eat breakfast? Or do you still eat cereal for breakfast? Yes or no? Pretty simple question. You can weigh in and we'll share those results throughout the show.
71%.
I mean, is that like never? 71% of you said you haven't had a bowl of cereal in like a year?
For breakfast? I mean, we're specifically saying at breakfast.
For
the start of the
breakfast.
day, are you starting with cereal?
I mean, like once every 3 weeks? I find that hard to believe it's that high.
Do you eat cereal?
Well, if you ask it that way, the question is yes.
But for breakfast, though, that's the
times.
question.
Rod doesn't like how the question was asked.
Yes.
It's a very simple question.
Or the answer.
You read into that greatly. Just basically, in general terms, do you eat it for breakfast anymore?
I have rain to talk about, but I also want to spend part of my morning standing up for Captain Crunch. Okay. I don't want Captain Crunch to go away. No. We have scattered showers on the radar this morning, as Brenda mentioned. This is the batch now hitting south of Mount Hood that came through and produced some wet streets in the area. You can see right now it's actually mainly dry out there. So we will be watching scattered showers, at least some activity on radar, probably all the way through about the noon hour. Then after that, the rain chance will end and we'll get some partial clearing. Right now it's 59, 64 at noon. Later today, 69 degrees and partly cloudy. Chris, any trouble on the road, sir?
I had some raindrops on my windshield this morning, but no trouble that I could find. We go out to the west side. This is Highway 26 near the Jefferson on-ramp. There's your inbound commute coming down the hill into the tunnel. That's in good shape. I-205 east side, there's your northbound commute at Killingsworth, and you can see traffic rolling along just fine there. The traffic map right now, all green. So far, so good, Drew.
All right, we'll have more from Chris and Rod coming up here in just a few minutes. But right now, our top story this half hour. An outspoken Portland middle school teacher is out of a job this morning after the Portland Public School Board voted to fire him last night.
Brian Chu says he was targeted for standing up for students and minorities, but school board members say his firing had nothing to do with that. Devin Haskins is live in the newsroom this morning. And Devin, walk us through what happened at last night's school board meeting.
Yeah, good morning, guys. This wasn't your typical school board meeting, meaning more often than not, school disciplinary matters are kept confidential, but that wasn't the case here because Brian Chu requested this matter be made public, and so it was. KGW News caught up with Chu before the hearing, and this is what he had to say about his time away while this all played out.
Well, it's been nice. You know, it's funny. You don't realize how toxic PPS is until you're actually out of it. I feel bad for all the teachers that are still in it.
During the meeting, or before it started, Brian Chu walked into the board meeting to a round of applause. He taught social studies at Harriet Tubman Middle School in North Portland and had been on paid leave since April of 2022. Board members suggested it was not Chu's beliefs or convictions they disagreed with. Instead, it was how he did or did not do his job. Board members said there were issues with coworkers, bullying, and that he created an unsafe workplace. They also said his performance as a teacher did not meet their standards.
Grades were not based on demonstrated student work, in which there weren't lesson plans, a whole host of other things that weren't happening in the classroom, which have an impact on students.
Chu was very outspoken against Portland Public Schools for a number of reasons, including disruptions during school board meetings. Students say he helped them stand up against a planned I-5 expansion that would require their school to be moved. Reason some students and teachers spoke in support of Chu.
Mr. Chu is more than a teacher. He is like family to us. We count on him and he believes in us. We need teachers that care about us, and Mr. Chu was just that.
In the end, the board voted 5-1 to fire Chu, with one member abstaining. After the hearing was over, Chu caught up with KGW and said it was, quote, actually an honor to be fired. Brenda?
All right, Devin, so what happens next? This is not a done deal quite yet.
Not quite yet. Chu says he plans to seek arbitration and tells us it's not over and that this is just the beginning. Portland Public Schools confirms that arbitration is indeed an option, so we'll just have to wait to see what happens next.
Thank you, Devin.
All right, take a look at this now. Spray paint on some Portland highway signs have left them basically unreadable. We told you last month how ODOT ran out of the $2 million it had set aside to pay contractors to clean up the graffiti. So now ODOT's maintenance crews are responsible for removing that paint. They say the cleanup effort could take a while, but first they plan to focus on signs that could really cause some safety issues. Again, we have this story for you this morning on Sunrise. One other thing we want to note, ODOT says crews do have to balance their graffiti paint cleanup work with other top priorities like installing guardrails and fixing potholes.
Police need your help to catch the thieves who hit a Portland bike parts manufacturer. Take a look at this surveillance video of the suspects walking out of Chris King Precision Components in Northwest Portland. The company has been hit twice now in the past month. In all, the suspects stole 3 bikes worth a total of $45,000.
If you have to go to security levels that you feel like you're a bank or something like that, it changes your culture inside. You know, I mean, if you got to put more cameras up, then you're in here working every day with cameras. That changes your dynamic in your building. Just to try to make sure that some knucklehead from outside doesn't show up in the middle of the night trying to take your stuff.
So the general manager who you just heard from says he doesn't want to move the business out of the city, but the events of the past month are prompting him to reconsider. If you come across one of these 3 stolen bikes or recognize the suspects we showed you in the video, call Portland Police.
Tigard police say they need your help finding the driver who hit a woman and then sped off. This happened about 9 o'clock Monday night on Hall Boulevard near Pfaffel Street and the 217 overpass. When police got there, they found a 45-year-old woman with critical injuries. Officers say her boyfriend was driving when he stopped to pick up something that had been thrown out of the car window. Police didn't say what that was, but the man pulled into the center lane to get it. His girlfriend got out too and was hit by a car that kept on going. If you have any information, you're asked to call 911.
We also have an update for you this morning out of Happy Valley. Investigators say they have found no evidence of asbestos after a former fiberglass plant burned down last weekend. The fire sparked early Saturday morning in a building on Oddie Road that was already slated for demolition. Residents at a neighboring apartment complex are back in their homes this morning. They were originally evacuated from that apartment complex because of those asbestos concerns. Investigators say they also believe that this fire was set intentionally.
And we are taking you outside this Wednesday morning, almost said Tuesday, this Wednesday morning, 5:08. Chad Dehart behind the wheel of our Drive Hate. He is on I-84 eastbound. Roads looking pretty clear at this point in the morning. Still dark, but nice and clear.
Clear, but wet in some spots.
Yeah,
I thought our
yeah.
sprinkler had gone off in the middle of the night. I'm like, no, that's Mother Nature. Little rain on the road.
You have to keep up.
I do.
Keep up with what's going on.
I'm not used to it this summer.
Well, that's true. The headline is overwhelmingly this big push of rain. It will be the first fall soaker that is looking like it slowly starts on Sunday and then ramps up with hours of heavier, steadier rain on Monday, Tuesday. So this is what one weather model is showing. This will be rain amounts from Sunday through the day Tuesday, basically, or Tuesday night. Notice well over 1 inch at the coast. In fact, it says there could be some pockets get about 2.5 inches. Shows that in Lincoln City. Shows 1.5 inches in Corvallis. Not quite as much in Portland, but 1.91 out in Skamania, and hefty rain amounts all the way out through the Dow. So this soaking rain that we started to talk about Monday coming to start next week is still a go. The one change in my forecast this morning is that it's looking more and more like there could be raindrops falling much of the day on Sunday. Now, that particular day, I think we'd be looking at some light rain amounts. Here's what we have going on right now. Brenda alluded to this. See the scattered shower feed coming down from the northwest. You'll find scattered showers driving up to Seattle this morning. And eventually this rain chance is going to be moving off to the east. So including the coast. We will become dry later this morning or shortly after the noon hour. The rain chance here on the west side will come to an end. But you folks in the gorge, central and out east, you'll see your scattered showers start to pick up as we get rolling into the afternoon hours. Good visibility under a mostly cloudy sky, 59 degrees currently out at the airport. And here are the other current numbers for you to get your day going. 58 in the Dalles in Salem, Portland about the same, Kelso 54, so mostly 50s on the west side. Chilly out east though, Bend, John Day, Baker City, all in the 30s right now. You have scattered showers in your forecast coming this afternoon. So we'll say a few morning showers, not much rain out there. Dry afternoon, temperatures up to around 70 degrees or stopping in the upper 60s. Longview 68 degrees. Battleground Vancouver might just halt at 69. Portland might halt at 69. We still expect mostly sunny days coming up tomorrow and Friday, upper 70s. A weak system Saturday afternoon may or may not bring some scattered shower development. Sunday's looking gray with occasional light rain, and then the rainy weather on Monday and Tuesday. That's your forecast.
Okay, looking good. Thanks, Rod.